My name is John Weber. I'm an associate broker with eXp Realty, and I've been doing this for 40 years. And what makes me unique is I would say half of that time I was in developer sales, which is more regimented, more, I would say, business-like. We all had goals and we were expected to perform. And the other half of my career is general brokerage real estate, which is what every day in all the cities across the country. So kind of a unique perspective. I thought I'd do a video today on the 7 pillars. I got 7? Yes, 7 pillars of being a successful real estate agent. So you might find this pretty interesting. I encourage you to stay tuned. We're going to get into these 7. All right. So recently, I'm based in Hilton Head Island, by the way, eXp Realty, which is fabulous. There's a saying in eXp Realty where the pros go to grow. So I saw the statistic from the National Association of Realtors where 70% of their membership never made a sale last year in 2025. Never made a sale, 70%. And I'm sitting there going, what kind of an organization lets basically their members fail like that? I mean, it's just unbelievable. 70% never make a sale. And that's why another statistic is within 3 years, I think it's an 80% washout. It's crazy. So there's a lot of different reasons for all that. But it gave me the idea to talk about the 7 pillars of what makes a good real estate agent. And I haven't seen this anyplace else. It's just something that I came up with. And pillar number 1 is your mind. You have got to get your mind right. And Tony Robbins calls it the state. You got to get in a peak state. And because sales can be very, very negative. Everybody's telling you no all the time. If you ask people to buy a home, if you ask people to buy anything, many, many times they're going to tell you no, no, no. You go home and get depressed and you just say, oh, I can't do this. So pillar number 1 is your mind. You've got to strengthen your mind by watching videos, listening to audiobooks, apps about motivation. You've got to constantly pump yourself up because the mind controls everything, and that's on you. I mean, your broker is not going to help you get your mind right. So as a matter of fact, your broker probably won't even help you. They may train you on a contract, but that's part of the problem. The 70% failure rate with the National Association of Realtors. Your mind is a big, big deal. You've got to remain up because you can do this. Number 2 pillar is your body. You cannot sit there and if you want to perform at the highest level and sit there and eat McDonald's all afternoon and do not exercise. You just can't do it. You've got to get yourself in peak condition. Well, okay, not peak condition, but you've got to be aware of your body. Eat the right foods because real estate 7 days a week, literally 7 days a week. Many times I'm writing a contract at night or on a Sunday early in the morning, all kinds of things, because if somebody wants to buy a house or a lot, you got to go. You got to put it together. So your body is a big deal because if you're not in somewhat of decent shape, you're going to get tired real quick. Real quick. You're just not going to have the energy. And that's another one that's going to be on you. There's so many ways in today's world to understand and learn to eat the right foods and take care of yourself with exercise. So you're going to have to do that. Your mind, your body. Pillars 1 and 2. Pillar number 3, contracts or paperwork. You have got to be an expert in the paperwork that you have for whatever city you live in. You just have to do that. You cannot take people, put them in the car. They ask you a question about due diligence. What's the due diligence period in your local contract? And you're like, let's see, due diligence. You can't do that. You got to know the contract. You got to know all of the different parts of a contract. agency relationships, brokerage relationships, buyer's agreement, listing agreement. It's not that difficult, but if you look at it and you actually read it, the Hilton Head contract's 7 pages. So the most important paragraph in there is paragraph number 8 about the inspection. So you have to know that, and you have to talk like you know what you're doing. And the only way to do that is to read that contract, talk to a coach, friends, somebody in the business that will help you understand the paperwork. We have a gentleman on our team who joined a couple of years ago, and one of the first things he said to me, I'm really bad at paperwork. And I said, not anymore. Not anymore. You can't do this job and be so-so on paperwork. But he was new in the business. He was referring to just paperwork in another business he was in. But in this business, on my team, you've got to know the paperwork. So pillar number 4, people skills. You got to know how to get along with people, and you got to solve their problems. It's that simple. If you're sitting there telling people about different neighborhoods and you're not watching them, you're not aware that they're not even listening to you, they're looking out the window and they want to go, they want to get in the car, you've got to be able to read people and solve their problems, whatever it might be. And that's usually less talking and more listening. You've got to be able to work with people, be a complete professional, and help people because they're sitting in front of you with a problem. They just sold their house, they're moving to the area, they're worried, their house might not close. I mean, it's so many different situations, and you've got to remain cool, calm, and collected, listen to their problem in great detail, assess it, make recommendations. But that's people skills and listening. So that is pillar number 4. Pillar number 5, these are not really in any kind of order, is follow-up. The real money in real estate's in follow-up, because a lot of people, they'll come and see you and you tour them around and you show them some houses in the area, and then they go back home. And maybe the timing's not right. They'll say, well, I'll come back next spring, or I don't know if I'm going to get the job and I'll get back with you, and all of that kind of stuff. So you must follow up with your clients. That is of paramount importance. And I mean, don't just sit there and bug people with text messages. Call them up on the phone. Talk to them, help them. If you send anything to them, make sure it's something of value that they would want, because you don't know, these people could have contacted, especially in Hilton Head, they could contact 3 or 4 realtors hoping to get what they are looking for, and that's 3 or 4 realtors who might follow up with them or might not. But if you're a professional, you're going to follow up. So that's number 5. Number 6 is a biggie, lead generation. Without people, you got no sales. It's that simple. When you start in real estate, your broker says, well, I'll tell you what, write down your sphere of influence and all the people you know, and let's send them maybe a little note card with your brand new business card in it. Or you could sit in open houses. That's a good time. It's just a killer. You've got to be able to generate leads. You must do that. So there are many, many ways to do that, but lead generation, to generate people to talk to, is a big deal. And that's one big reason why people fail. They have this grand idea of having their own business, and they don't understand that they got to have some money in the bank to go the distance, and they'll figure it out as they go. That's what they're thinking. Because brokerage offices that I see, the training's not so good. It just isn't. So lead generation's a big deal. Last pillar, work ethic. You can get a lot done as a real estate agent if you outwork everybody. I know I did that when I moved to this area the second time in 2016, and I started a YouTube channel, and I outworked everybody on YouTube. I really did, and I still do. I work really hard at it because that's going to come a lack of talent, all kinds of things. Hard work. If you're going to, any athlete will tell you that. I outwork everybody. And the great athletes, they're in there every day working it, working it, working it. A lot of people don't want to work so hard. But real estate, as I said, 7 days a week. But it's extremely lucrative. You change people's lives. The joy on their face is unbelievable. You can make great friends, and it's a really cool business. But it's brutal if you don't understand these 7 pillars of being a good real estate agent. I'm going to put some information about YouTube down below, a free guide, set you up on your channel. That's one way. If you're not on YouTube, you don't have to have 150 videos, but you need to have a presence on YouTube. Remember, number 6, lead generation. You got to have a lot of things. It's like fishing. You got to have a lot of hooks in the water. You really do, because you got to generate leads. If you like the video, please give a thumbs up, make a comment below. I read all the comments. And I'll put my free guide down below. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer it. But these 7 pillars, I put a lot of thought into that. Each one of them you can expand on, but those are the basics right there. So John Weber Coaching, eXp Realty, and we'll catch you next time.